Good evening and welcome to the Sunday Night Takeaway Show, episode 27. Hope you've had a great weekend and looking forward to the show because I think we all are anyway. So let's start off with Anthony because you look a bit... You all right there, mate?
Yeah, I'm all right, yeah.
Oh, just making sure you're just kind of like, you know...
Looks a bit
Is it? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Jez. Is it the lack of transfer activity from your club that you're kind of a bit dismayed about?
Oh, yeah, it most probably is. It's shit. I'm fed up. All I'm seeing is streams and shows. Oh, we're interested in this person. Oh, this is interested in that person. Oh, this person is now he's signed. It's a done deal. Oh, where the fucking hell is he? You know, I get fed up with it. So all the Arsenal fans here, even in the chat, right? All the strikers, the Oshermans, yeah, the Alvarez, the Ivan Tonez, the Solankis from Bournemouth, all that. Forget it. Forget it. We're not signing it. It'll be the last day of the transfer window. If we do get a striker, I'll be watching it. And we'll finally sign a striker. And do you know what will be the first thing in my head? I'll say, who the fucking hell's that? That's what it'd be, Tim. Honestly.
It's true. On a positive though, how are we doing, Jez, anyway? Hope things have been good for you. Had a good weekend and some good streams you've done lately, I must admit.
Yeah. No, it's been good fun, man. Good fun. Yeah, just done a stream. That was a good giggle. There's some really good comments in the chat. I have to say the chat tonight was amazing. Brilliant. Bit like last week on here. I mean, I had lots to talk about tonight, but unfortunately I didn't get through it because the chat was fired and you have to go with the chat. You know that.
Yeah.
Been a good weekend. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And looking forward to our next game at Wednesday at the Emirates Cup. So that'll be a good game. And I'm doing something different tomorrow night. This week, I'm doing Olympics watch along for the velodrome. Now the Olympic cycling. Now I know nothing about it. I'm no technical person, but I love it. I just love it. I think this is my favourite thing of the Olympics. So I'm going to do a watch along for it. Not sure I'm going to do all 5 hours of it, to be honest. But, I thought, well, why not do something a bit different and see? But yeah, hey, why not? But
yeah, sounds good. I'll look out for that one. We'll look out for that. Fuzzy, how you been, mate?
I've been okay. The recent hours of today, I'm feeling a little bit like an Arsenal supporter, you know. Transfer activity being a little bit dead and losing to Liverpool, you know, we're all in the same shitty sinking boat together, I suppose. But hopefully at the turn of the week we should get a busy week with incomings and outgoings because we've got the glorified dinner plate to play next weekend.
Yes,
we fight it out for the most expensive chinaware on the planet. No cutlery to go with it, sadly, so we can't eat anything off of it. Maybe raw chicken when we get it back to Old Trafford. But then we start the Premier League season, Fulham, the weekend after that. We are 2 weeks away from the season kicking.
Wow, yeah, it's coming up.
How ready are all of our clubs?
You do know Smith Rowe's going to score an hat-trick last year. You do know that, don't you?
Well, in that case, we'll win 4-3 then.
I bet he scores. Smith Rowe.
Guarantee it. You can guarantee it. Before we crack on that, let's
see the Smith Rowe or Scott McTominay.
Oh yeah, imagine that. Let's just say hello to the people in the chat as always. Great to have these with us. First one obviously is Henry. Evening, hope you will. Doing well, mate. Hope you are as well. And weeks flying out the window. Feel like I just left your chat last week. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Big up to Aaron. Hope you're doing, Aaron. Yeah, the week's bolted by. And evening to Luke as well. Do we even have a week, Aaron? Yeah, I didn't see it. Good evening, Arsenal Manic. Hope you all. Good evening, all. And they're saying hello to each other there. And there you go, Arsenal Manic. Fuzzy's already alluded to you. 2 weeks' time. Premier League. Yeah,
Incredible.
already put it there. I hope it's the same this week as I've got a shit week at work, or can't have that.
I hate
On the
that.
17th. Big up to Trip Vic, big up everyone in the chat, and big up to 4K4 Pete, big up the panel, big up to yourself as well. I hope you keep him well. I've never had a full-time job, no one hired me, so I just volunteer work. Good luck to you, Henry, on that.
Mm.
Fair play, man.
Big up to Eros, John Cena looking pissed off. John Cena.
God, bud. He knows it.
Yeah, look, Arsenal Medic is with you there, Anthony. Arsenal have zero ambition and no urgency. ESR sold, cauliflower in. Evening to Pepsi Pack. If Arsenal sign Alvarez, I'm taking the season off. Joke, not the answer. Sean McGuire saying, McGonagall saying hello to Jez.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, at least put yourself out there and do something, bro. Absolutely. How's the wife hot fuzz? Oh, Jesus.
Dead.
Oh, God.
In a body bag floating down the river.
Uncle Boo, I'm with you. I don't believe a damn rumor. Yeah. Yes.
It was coming.
Evening to you.
Okay.
Evening to Mama Flossie.
We got some Mama Flossie.
Yeah. I'd say I went in kitty for a bag of chips. Get what you can and get rid. Haven't you just turned down a bid for this man again?
Yep.
Yeah.
Marseille, 27 million.
With add-ons, plus add-ons, which brings it up to around about 32 million, I believe. I've got to be honest with you. I think when Eddie was at school, he had been absolutely shit at maths. Absolute shit. And as a player, comes from the youth academy, whatever it is, whether it's 27 million, 30, 35 million, is a bonus. It's a profit. Take it. Let him go. Because he ain't doing nothing at our club. He might as well leave and get first team football somewhere else at Nigeria. Just to improve his football. You know, just do that. We'll wish him all the best, but he's just not for us.
He's agreed personal terms. Marseille have agreed personal terms. So, you know, Edu, Garlic Head, Tim Lewis, just say, okay, we'll take the 27 million plus add-ons and let him go. It's a joke.
What are they looking for, Jez? This is what gets me. I mean, like, you know,
35.
Yeah,
They
but
wanted 35 million.
take your money and run, I'd say, more than anything else.
Something
Yeah.
smells a lot like Eddie really doesn't not want Eddie Nketiah to be sold, so you stick a lucrative pricing on him.
Big up, Ravi.
You're right, I think, Fuzzy. It's, you know, the guy, look, let's put it right. Yeah. See, from Christmas this Christmas gone just now, Christmas 2023, right? How much
Evening,
game
Carl.
time did Nketiah get? He got bugger all game time, really, right? 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there. It was quite clear that Arteta, right, has lost faith in the guy. Yeah, and we saw the performance out in the United States against Manchester United. He was absolutely shit. And against Bournemouth, he was absolute shit. So get rid of him. Let him go. Let him go on and further his career at Marseille. Bit like ESR, gone to Fulham. Good luck. Thank you for your service. You gave us some pleasure. But now you can move on and enhance your career at Fulham Football Club. Let the same happen to Nketiah. Why hold on to something you don't want?
Mm.
It's unfair, in my opinion. Just let the man go and let him. He probably doesn't want to be at Arsenal anymore. He's probably seeing where he can actually improve himself, maybe, and say, "Just let me go, Eddie. Let me go." You know, it's like anything in life. When a relationship goes bad, sometimes you have to break it. Yeah, you have to say, right, we're parting our ways. Let's do it under in good faith. Move on.
Mm.
This is what annoys me about Arsenal Football Club. You don't want the guy. Why hang on to him? Why be greedy? Just accept the 27 million plus the add-ons and go. Bye.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah, the work with. Big up to Gavin. Evening to you as well. Fuzz Anthony is only pre-season. All right, pat on the chat. Evening to James Lamprey as well. Evening, ladies and gents. Sean McGonigal saying he liked your video. Vic Levis saying hi all again.
But it's nice to get some. It's nice to get some signings in throughout that pre-season.
It's nice to get a lot of signings in before the preseason.
Shut up, Fuzzy. You've done enough. You've done enough signings, dude. We want some.
Yeah, technically, you've only signed you've signed half of the amount that we've signed. You've only signed 2 players. You've only signed 2 players, and we needed like 10 in, 10 out. Where are the other 8? You still need a midfielder, still need a centre back, still need a second midfielder, still need the right back, still need a left back, still need a backup striker because Poyden's out injured for 6 weeks, and another creative winger. Oh,
yes,
might as well stick an extra option somewhere in the team there as well. So technically, there's a third centre back. Because Maguire and Lindelof are 2 names, both have to go. And Johnny Evans, technically, because he's not the right sort of centre back for the team we have.
Big up Tony DJ Crane. Yeah, if United win the China Wear, Fuzzy and Donna can have a romantic dinner date. You know. Big up Dow. Legends to yourself as well, mate. Good seeing you.
Big up Dow.
50 pence dinner plate. Fuzz wants to eat his pie and mash and liquor off it.
Absolutely. My chocolate milk. Swap liquor for chocolate milk. I'll be happy.
Jones talking to the 3 of us, I think. Fuzzy's away with this one. Hello, you old buggers. Hello, Jared. How you doing?
Just because I had my 26th birthday recently. Come on.
I'm 25.
Get out of it. Like the shares. Thank you much, Joanne. Appreciate that
He's
as
21.
always. Yeah. Hard life, Fuzzy.
Yeah.
I must admit, Tony, I'm struggling to watch you because of that awful picture behind you. It's giving me a headache. Seriously.
Shall I change it to something else then, Jez?
No, you're all right. You're all right.
Yeah, it's the FA Cup win. Yeah. I was 1, Jez. I was 1 year old.
Yeah, you said that the other day, mate. Yeah, I was 19.
Yeah, that's 4K 4 pitch saying Hot Fuzz 44 euros injured, slabbing it again, I heard. Oof.
Yeah, it's the only option we got.
Big up Guna Gathering. Good evening, all. Good evening to yourself. Having a bonfire. Yeah, as Ewa said, I told you all a few weeks ago, Eddie Nketiah is staying. It seems to be the truth.
Hope not. Come on, let's move on. Let's move
Big up
out.
to Unique 79. He's been a member for 4 months on Jez's channel. Salute to him as well. Salute to the fire panel. It'll be the same crap, different season for Arsenal. Jez, just enjoy your wine like I do. Our football club do not care.
True, mate. Very, very true, Unique. Very, very true. Seriously.
We're all saying hello to each other. Oh, yeah. So Marseille for 27, Arsenal want 30. Why doesn't Edu put up the mysterious 3 million from the free Marquinhos good relations deal with?
Yeah. I think it's because he wants to pay Marseille 27 million to keep good relations with the French club.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, dear. Can't make it up.
As Arsenal Manic says, Nketiah is a special talent. If we sell him, he'll be the next Messi. We can't risk it. Jesus. Luke said, I just don't get it. We've still got worse players at the club. How can we let ESR go and keep Nketiah? It makes no sense. Mind you saying that Arteta's always favoured Nketiah, isn't he, for some reason? There's something about the player he loves. Whereas ESR and that has not had much of a chance with him. So it makes sense in that sense to sell the player on.
Exactly. I mean, I don't understand what this love fest is for Nketiah. Seriously. I mean, ignore the Muppets that come in the chat. I had a couple tonight going on about it, right? But they're trolls. So They don't really give any credence to the argument. I don't understand it. I mean, Arteta sanctioned the 100 grand a week 14 shirt setup, and then he gave him that opportunity, right? And then he hasn't proved himself at all. And then after Christmas just gone, as I said a minute ago, he didn't play him. So let him go, man. Let him go. Just let him go and develop his career elsewhere. What are you hanging on to a dead dog for? It's pointless, man.
True. I agree with that. It just seems if you want to progress as a club and that, you can't hold a players. Oh, I don't know. Maybe your club's sentimental, Jez, Anthony, because it seems to be some of these players stay here, like woodworms. They stay with the woodwork forever and ever and never sell on. Always stay there. And either they kind of finish their contract and move, or, you sign them on for another year.
He can go for free next year. And Nketiah can go for free.
That's why he turned it down. He don't want to make money from players like that. He likes to keep up his record of letting players, running down their contracts because the guy can barely sell.
If you can get £27 million for somebody that you don't actually really want to play, he's going to be a bench warmer. Why keep him? It's no business sense, is it? There's no business sense there whatsoever.
A bit like those that, in our fan base that, go and toss all over Aaron Wan-Bissaka for seasons at a time, saying, "No, the guy's dead. He's dead baller. Don't get rid of him. Get rid of him." Okay, Manchester United go. Okay, we'll get rid of him. No, don't sell him. You'd be great. You'd be great. What is this?
Trouble is, though, what they're not thinking of was when we saw Smith Rowe, fair enough. If we actually saw Eddie Nketiah, let's say if he went yesterday or sometime today, right? That's an Ivan Toney. The money's there for Ivan Toney to come if he wants to come to Arsenal and play football. That there it is. There, they want what 45 million for him, I believe. So when you put that money together, that's 53 million. That's 53 million. Well, 53 million, 55 million that we'll get for both of those players, Smith Rowe and Eddie Nketiah combined. So that brings in Ivan Toney. That's a striker up front. So there you go. So obviously they can't be that interested in Ivan Toney or anybody like that or another striker. So at the end of the day, I think all this speculation that we're hearing is like what I said when Tony asked me how I was doing. I think all this rumours we're after this person, we're after that person is a load of crap, in my opinion. I really did.
Well, the problem with the Tony situation, I think we covered that on Wednesday, is the fact that because their striker's now been injured and he's out for virtually the whole season, it's looking like Tony's staying put for the time being.
For the time being, but Brentford could quite easily bring in another striker with that money we get for him, I think. Quite easily. Whether it's a £20 million player,
they're going to cover their losses, aren't they? Because at the end of the day, if they're not going to get the full price for Tony, and also they're still got a player that's out for most of the season, possibly all of the season, it's one of those, isn't it? Go with something that's tried and tested, or bring someone in and you've got to start all over again.
But how many times has teams been like that? They've gone down that route plenty of times before when they've lost their best strikers and they've had to fulfill them with the next best thing. And then after, that striker they signed was even better than the previous striker that they didn't really want to get rid of in the first place. But it's true, though, isn't it? We've seen it quite a lot of times. And it's just one of them. I just think the longer that Ivan Toney's at Brentford, he's not going to want to play for him. Last season, when he came back from that betting scam, it was obvious he didn't want to play for him. You can tell in his game, the way he was playing, not if he's scoring any goals. His mind wasn't there. So if you've got a player like that at the club, get rid of him because it's not going to cause him a problem. It's going to cause the whole team a problem.
True.
It's going to be a shit atmosphere in the changing rooms.
No, it is true. Just to say hello to a couple of people and I've got a question that Ravi's asked me. Big up to Tony Claude, Gunner TV. Big up to yourself. Big up everyone. Long time no see, my friend. Good to see you back on the scene.
Yeah.
As always, Paul, as we say. And to Michael Chelsea FC, big up Early Doors Football TV, Jez, and the panel. Big up to yourself, mate. Hope you keep him well. Let me just go to that question that he starred here. Was question for Early Doors: how do you see West Ham shaping up in pre-season? Well, going by the game we played against Crystal Palace, even though we won, we didn't look good in certain areas. Certain players were a little bit lacking. But on the plus side of it, and that we're cooking on the transfer side of things. Somerville's over the line with now. You got Fulkrug and Rodriguez having their medicals, possibly going to be announced, no doubt, tomorrow. And obviously with Fuzzy's team, it looks like it's getting ever closer. Aaron Wan-Bissaka. So on that front, Lopetegui's building a team to compete for Europe by the looks of it for the next season. So the two of us up top here, and that we're doing pretty well on the transfer side of things. Unfortunately, you used two underneath.
I wouldn't be so sure about saying that we're doing well in the transfer front. Not to say that our board is to blame for the problems, because I mean, I think any club that's been ran horrendously like trash for well over a decade is going to have teething problems in undoing the amount of damage that has been just racked up. Like, for example, like hundreds of millions of pounds worth of transfer fees that were unpaid, maybe in terms of clubs, charging us extortionate prices, trying to rip United off. We got one up over Man United. There's probably transfers from those clubs where United have not paid the full transfer fee, so we owe them lots of money, which again is damaged reputation, because it's like you get the guys that you go and talk to with the new board and they say, well, we'd like to sign this player, and they turn around to you and say, well, we respect you, we think you're great, but your institution it still owes us a lot of money from previous encounters gone by. So there's a reputation that the board are having to work against. There's, I think, the obvious sort of mercenary behaviour with a lot of our players, where you got Harry Maguire, who's technically, as a player, is meant to be a first team starting every week type player, and he's talking like, oh well, I'm here to get everybody sort of up to speed. I'm leading the team from the back, guys. You bastard! You're meant to be playing for a mid-table club, not still trying to make it big, like some English Maldini or something. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Players and their mentalities, but
hey. We're going to come back to your one anyway, because there's an interesting article with Ten Hag early on in that. But look, we've got two Arsenal fellas with us and that. But sometimes we need to spread the love and make sure that they can combine us free. So of course, with that introduction, big up to Dow, Oregon Goon. I hope we keep it.
What up, Jazz? What up, everybody in the panel and chat? Thanks for having me on, Tone. Slept in a little bit this morning, so
that's good.
My day started at 12:30 in the afternoon. But yeah, no, I've been listening for the last 20 minutes or so. But yeah,
I hope you're keeping well, mate. You're good?
I'm great. We're making signings. I'm actually a little more excited for the season now. It looks like we're going to get Moreno over the line, and hey, they're making signings of players that I wanted. We needed a left back and we needed a midfielder. I know we need a striker, but we can dive into that as well. But I'm actually looking forward to the season a little bit, just a little bit.
Speaking of Moreno, I think Arteta might be taking, or Arteta and Edu are taking the whole Arsenal family thing a little bit too seriously. I'm actually signing family members. Extended family. Well, if you can't sign the actual ballers, at least you've got some talented family members. Contact your cousins. Contact your
Is Moreno related to
distant
them or something?
relatives.
Did I miss something?
I swear he's like a cousin or something. To
Oh, wow.
Mikel Arteta.
Yeah, he looks like an Arteta doppelganger almost.
Hmm.
So maybe he'll play like Arteta.
Wow. Let's hope
He'll,
not.
he'll flop. He'll flop for a season at Arsenal and get moved to Everton and become a legend there.
You know, if it gets ESR out of the club, I don't know.
Yes. Good Gavin.
You know, he had to go. We weren't going to play him, so why kill the kid's career, like Jez said earlier about Nketiah not going to Marseille? I mean, let the kid play. 27 million is highway robbery for Eddie Nketiah. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It just seems weird, Dale, that, we were just saying earlier, why hold on to the player? He wants to go. As Jez said, if he's agreed terms, and as Anthony's alluded to there, it's still profit. Whatever way you look at it, it's pure profit.
Right. That's 100% correct. I just think it's foolish to turn down 27 mil for any player that's barely touched the ball.
Yeah, I can't see the sense in that.
Exactly.
Going together in fun story. I see Trevor booking on a regular basis at work. Is he still? Because I know he did have a spine company. He was doing all the old binding kits and stuff. Be interesting. You still work there, bigger brother. Got Fuzz. Jez, is Mikel Mourinho still going to Arsenal? Another yes or no, maybe.
I think it will happen. It seems to be that there's haggling now over the price. Apparently, he wants to move. Apparently, personal terms are nearly agreed. Reports, nothing concrete, but it looks like it's going to happen. So we'll see.
I'll just see this one here.
Oh, sorry to interrupt real sec. Did Moreno play for Newcastle?
Sorry?
Did Moreno play at Newcastle for a bit?
And he is a flop.
I didn't know if he was on loan or something. Okay. Sorry to interrupt.
No worries, mate. No worries.
He wasn't great at Newcastle, mate. So why are we? No disrespect. He didn't make it at Newcastle very well. So why the hell are we buying him?
Because Newcastle, he was probably about 20, 21 years old. I think he's 27 now. He's been very, very good at Real Sociedad from what I've read. I don't watch them. He had a very good Euros. He's got good stature, Jez. I think he's good on the ball. We'll see what happens. I mean, I'm not overly gassed for it, but I'm glad that we're bringing in an 8-type midfielder. I'd rather, Zubamendi didn't want to come, obviously, so we'll go for the other one.
I'm never always convinced, though, Dal, when these players go back, and they gas it up. He didn't make it in the Premier League as a young kid. What says he's going to make it now?
Probably just experience.
Let me just make a point in case here. Paul Pogba, right?
Right.
Came to Man United, flopped. Went away back to wherever it was he went. I can't remember. Was it Italy? I can't remember. Right. Yeah. Came back to Man United, flopped.
Yeah. Paul Pogba also had a lot of drama around him, didn't? And I don't remember. Maybe Fuzz can. Did he win a trophy at United? Pogba, did you guys win a trophy with him in the squad, an FA Cup or something? Or I don't remember.
It was under Mourinho. I think we won the Carabao Cup and Europa League in the first season.
Yeah.
I think after that, Mourinho didn't win anything until he was sacked. I think that was it.
Right. I think it was it too. I can't remember him lifting many titles under the United shirt. Well, I don't know, Jazz. I mean, you're absolutely right as well. We don't know until he gets out there and does something. I don't expect him to be Granit Xhaka or Zinedine Zidane, but I think he's better than Fabio Vieira, right? I mean, I don't want Havertz at the left mid. If it's Moreno, Rice, and Odegaard as our midfield three, I don't think that's too shabby, bro. To be honest, I think we could have been a lot worse, right? if we get a striker, I still believe once we purchase that striker, that puts Havertz at left mid, and that's my biggest fear
Yes.
because he doesn't have the number 9 shirt.
Mm.
The number 9 shirt is wide open.
Yep.
Mm.
That's true. That is very
So-
true. Very true.
That is my worry, guys. And the thing is that if Moreno keeps Havertz as our center forward, strikers, right, hybrid type of player, then I'm okay with that because Havertz can't get lost when he's up front.
Is this right though? Just by going to gathering, Nketiah had the captaincy the other day.
Right.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
It was another concerning thing that I saw when you played against Liverpool, that Arteta's gone back to trying to play Havertz as a midfielder to make way for Jesus as like a resurgence to form. He's already starting to do the whole tinkering the team again.
Wow.
And the sort of tinkering that this bloke down here absolutely hates to the end of the world.
Yeah.
He's already started.
I think that's just pure. What he was doing there is, pre-season. I think what he was doing, you just look at the formation. He had a lot of kids. He had a lot of kids there.
Mm.
So I wouldn't put too much on that myself.
Mind you, Arsenal. Sorry, Jess, go on.
I'm just saying, hopefully not, because if Arteta wants to start Havertz in midfield, he knows he's crap there.
Right.
So don't do it. Don't do it because it's going to be a bloody shit show disaster. We learned from start of last season. In midfield, he's not the man. When he stuck him up front, he did a job. A job. So, okay, not the greatest, but when you spend 65 million on a play, you've got to play him somewhere. And let's not forget, guys, right, when they bought him last season, Arteta said, his words, I don't know where to play him.
Yep.
His words.
I mean, Arsenal makes obviously saying on that situation. I mean, it may not be crazy about Nketiah either. This could be a sign that Arsenal are short in strikers and not striker will be bought. Hence, keep using Nketiah. But then, as you said, you've got Havertz that can also play up top. You've got Jesus,
Which makes me wonder, with the whole Havertz being pushed back into midfield, and maybe there's a plot there that maybe they go out and sign a striker. If they go sign another striker, guess where Havertz is playing? It's certainly not up top.
No.
If you've got if they try and switch it so that you got Martinelli playing more centrally or Trossard playing more centrally, and that becomes a theme. Again, that's another player to essentially push Havertz out of that position, and it means problems. It means problems in the long run.
Trouble is, though, everybody's saying about strikers and that. Look at that young one, Open Martins, we had in our reserves. Gone to Man United.
I think you should, yeah.
He scored 38 goals in 45 games. 38 goals in 45 games. And then Man United comes in and offers him a wage of 50 grand a week when Mikel Arteta, when we offer him 32. It don't make sense. Look after your youth, look after your academy. That is a striker in the making.
Did you say 13 grand a week we offered him?
Yeah.
13 or 30. 13 and they offered him 50?
Yeah.
13. We offered him 13 grand.
No, sorry, 30. We offered him 30. We offered him 30 grand a week. And Man United offered him 50. Man United offered him 20,000
I would go
more.
too. I would go too.
He's gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a waste of time us having a reserves. What's the point? You play for an Arsenal. You're coming up for the academy, right? You're such a good player, and you're thinking if you're a striker scoring 38 goals in 45 games, you've got a chance, a sniff at first team football in the near possible future.
Yep.
So this dumb idiot of a manager, who is thick, by the way, and I haven't got a problem with saying that, right? Hasn't got his brain switched in gear, right? So what does he do? He lets him go to Manchester United. Now, I'll tell you something. When he actually comes playing first team football at Man United, I bet you he'll be a top quality striker. And then that striker score goals and he'll win him things. And then there's us, the Arsenal fans, thinking, well, when Mikel Arteta couldn't see that, could he? Because he can't spot talent. I know I keep saying it and I keep repeating myself on streams every week. But this is all I got to say about my manager at my football club, and that's it. You know, I've got no faith in the guy.
Anthony,
I've got no faith in him at all.
We're going to see him. We're going to see him this season because Højlund's injured. There's a chance that we will see this kid.
Yeah, that's true. Isn't it?
Maybe in the Premier League, but he will absolutely play if Ten Hag is smart to play in the Carabao Cups, and he will score. I know. I'm so livid about that. Fuzz, you have probably a top striker now. That's going to be phenomenal, and we let him go just like we let go RVP. I know that's a lot different, but oh my God, I'm more mad about that than I think I am in Kenya, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, fun enough. Ravi's asked a question here to Jez, but also going to include you two as well. Thoughts how Arsenal can spot talent early, whether it be in the academy or another team or abroad. But Ali, do you think they can actually spot talent these days?
No, we haven't got no scouts. We have no scouts. They were all binned off during the pandemic time. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All we have now, apparently, so I'm led to believe by somebody in the know on this one, is we have contract scouts, right?
Football manager players.
Well, I mean, we're reliant on people that will contact Arsenal to say, have a look at this kid, have a look at this player, right? For that person as a contract scout will get a fee. I don't know how much they get, whatever, but I understand how it works. If Arsenal get that kid and give him some what's the term where they assess them, bring them to the academy, and they say, okay, maybe one for the future. That scout gets a bung, right? Gets paid for their time, right?
A trial, Jez. Have a
That's
trial.
it. That's the word. If they get a trial, then that scout, contract scout, will get a certain amount of money for that recommendation. We don't have the scouting system we used to have, which I think is nonsensical. Personally, a club of Arsenal stature should have proper scouts that can actually regularly inform the club of potential upcoming young players for the academy, or, well, have a look at this guy from Sao Paulo or Boca Juniors or wherever. This guy could be good. Let's have a look at him. And this is where the problem is, because we were reliant on the technical ability of the likes of Edu, who, I'm sorry, doesn't do his job properly. Because I'd like to know, from the end of the start of last season, 2023-2024 season, what was he actually doing to actually potentially get new players in? What was he actually assessing? I'd love to know. I think the guy's an absolute bloody prick. He's a clown.
So
He didn't play anyone in December. I mean, January, Jez. So that's where I want to know, how serious are we to win the league when you don't make signings in January, but a goalkeeper that you bring in on loan? Like, how serious are we? And then we go spend a buttload of money this summer. You don't think we could have spent some of that in January? I'm with you, Jez. I'm confused. I don't get the recruiting. Like you said, someone sees some kid in South America, and all of a sudden he's the bee's knees, and he comes to the Premier League and he's absolute dog shit. You know, and we've wasted money. We've wasted millions upon millions of dollars, and we're losing money. Just like James says, $5 million a year for someone who doesn't even play.
I've said this before.
Money.
It used to be, right, when we had a proper management team, Arsenal used to shop in Harrods, right? That's where we used to go to get our players. We got the best of the best. Now we shop in bloody Poundland, right? We get the big part players, the maybes. Well, they might be good. Oh, we'll get this kid from South America. We could have him for nothing, but we'll give you $3 million as a goodwill gesture to keep good relations, and then we sell him. Oh, we get these players from America, right? Yeah, Rusty and all that lot. Get them, don't play them, and get rid of them.
Yeah,
Now-
it's called social media scouting network.
Mhm.
They watch these players on YouTube and stuff like that. They download it. If they're interested in him, they hear his name. Oh, he's the bee's knees. They type in his names and they look at highlights of how he plays and the goals and how he strides off within the game. That's what they do. Then they put a claim in and saying, look, we are interested in this player. They bring him over here. They think this is why obviously they have medicals, but it won't surprise me going back then that, you know, for instance, like when we signed Thomas Partey and things like that, these players were slightly injured. They were carrying injuries, but it's like, oh, we could just shove this little bit underneath the carpet, can't we? Underneath the mat, and then we'll get the deal crossed because we haven't really much signed any players this season, and that's what they do. And then what happens? We sign them for lots of money, right? They ain't no good, and then what do? We get rid of them. We get rid of them for like $3 million a pop, and they've cost us like 50-60 million. So that's the Arsenal way.
Well, just look at there, Anthony, and Dale just brought it up. You know, James the AFC said there, you know, you could have recouped some of your money back there and that, and then Aaron's acted on this. The fact that we're under 2 weeks until the league starts and we've only sold ESRs and everything disgrace, basically, you know, and Arsenal sticks up with that. It's saying if Arsenal stick with the same squad, all that's going to happen is other clubs are catching up.
Right.
There we go.
100%. 100%. Look at Villa, West Ham, United. Those are the three biggest clubs making the most moves. I think Villa signed, 8 players? I mean, my God. Just, yeah. And I'm still angry. I think back in January that we didn't sign anyone because we only lost the league by 2 points. If we would have just, gone out, on a limb and get a couple of loans in, that may have turned fortunes a bit for us. But, hey, you want to play Zinchenko and Eddie Nketiah, by all means, go ahead, Arteta, because it's just going to keep you in a job longer because you think you're pleasing Eddie and the board,
No, exactly.
We've got a very tough start to the season.
Extremely.
I'm just going to put this out there right now. Yeah, this will show the bollocks that Arsenal Football Club has got. Right, start season, Wolves at home. Right, a couple of games we then got City away, Tottenham away. Yeah, that first 8 games of the season is going to be a tough ask. This will see what the cojones of Arsenal Football Club have got, and it's going to see the technical ability of Mikel Arteta. And I'll tell you right now, I would not be at all surprised if we don't get the business done right now, bloody quick, bloody soon. Yeah, I can see Arsenal in 6th place, 5th, 6th by Christmas.
Wow.
I was going to say 5th.
That's a big statement, I must admit, Jess, to say that. But then it's not far from it either, really, from the truth. That's for sure. It's a lack of business, as you said. But we're going to come back to that shortly. Evening, Steve. Evening, panel and chatters. Facts, obviously, they're just talking about the country going to pot at the moment with all the rioting over here in the UK. I don't know if you see much of that yourself, Dale.
No, you guys were saying Anthony's participating in the riots with Antifa in the Bristol chapter. All right, the Bristol chapter. Go on, you rebel. Throwing bottles at the cops. Crazy motherfucker.
Before I went live tonight, I was watching.
What are you guys rioting about? Like, what's there to riot about? Is the beer too warm and stale? What's going on?
It's up in Middlesbrough. It's like these 2 guys streaming it live. They're YouTubers, and it was like, and I compared it to how it was back in the nonsense days of when you had the hooligan days of football, right? And you had the police closing roads on people. There's officers on horseback tonight, right? Riot vans. And you can see the different gangs, the different people. They were like moving around the streets, like trying to outmaneuver each other. Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here thinking, Jesus Christ, this is like how it was back in the 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
You know, the gangs, the hooligan gangs, firms, whatever you want to call them.
Is this what led to the riots going on?
No, I think it was supposed to be dudes. I think some youngster who did a lot of stabbings in an area called Southport.
Southport, yes, I did.
And from then on, it's just seemed to spread across the UK. It's happening in various places now.
Well, why are they? Who's rioting, and what are they rioting against?
I think anyone that's got an opportunity to kind of pick up a brick, stone, bottle.
Would you see the one they were doing it today in Rotherham? They attacked that migrant hotel.
Yes. Yeah.
Smashing out the windows, and the riot police were there defending the hotel. And this, I think, is what is causing a problem. Right? Keir Starmer has caused this problem to a point, right? Because the riot police have got to defend the people in the hotel. The British public are getting the ump about that, saying, why are you defending these illegal immigrants? Well, they've got to, because otherwise there's going to be mayhem, serious injuries, possible deaths. So it's a very tricky situation, isn't it? Because I understand that people are upset about the boat people coming across. I don't agree with it. Right? We spend shed loads of millions with the French government to stop this happening, and they don't stop it. They don't stop it. They stand on the bloody beaches at Calais and Boulogne and other beaches, and they watch them. They watch them go. It's all organised because somebody is buying those inflatable dinghies for them.
Of course they are.
They're paying people, you know, human traffickers, if you want to call it that. They're paying them to actually get them these inflatable dinghy things to get across. They get across to UK waters, right? And then the RNLI and the British Navy bring them back to England.
Who's they, though? Who's they?
That's what's upsetting the British people. And then they've been putting into hotels that the British government are paying for. Yeah. And this is where it's all going to go tits up. I'll tell you right now, it's going to get very nasty very soon.
Yeah, they will do.
This
I
is
agree on
going
that.
on in Northern England. If it comes to London, it's going to be absolute bloody carnage.
So
Seriously, it's going to get nasty, man.
I got a question. So the stabbing in Southport, where 9 kids were attacked at a dance class, right, and 3 died.
Yeah.
Was the perpetrator of different race makeup, or was it just a white British guy?
No, it's a different race, and the way they kind of worded it, you know, was saying I can't remember the actual official word, but they did say that it doesn't matter because he was born in Wales, but at the end of the day, taking a life is taking a life, whatever way you look at it. Now, I mean, you know, and it's just the fact it was a 7-year-old kid, and you know, they've named him, shamed him, basically, and he's been charged and he's been sent down.
So are the riots focusing on minority groups around different towns in London?
Yes.
No, this is mostly, you know, it's mostly been up north more than Kill. Some of the fights been, you know, say Southport, Leeds. I mean, as just said, Rotherham. I think there's Sunderland as well. It's been all over the place.
So it's all these basically kids. They're finding. So are they? But the people that are rioting are attacking migrant people.
No, they've also attacked police stations, and they burnt one down the other day.
Yeah.
They're
Okay.
not kids, no doubt. There's
people. Yeah, they're kids, I guess.
There's people of my age doing it.
Right.
And you've got organised political groups, the EDF, the English Defence League, that's EDL, the English Defence League, blah 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 blah. You can get, you go on and on and on about it. But,
They're all jumping on, aren't they? They're all jumping on.
well, the thing is, people, mate. I think the thing is, Tony, is people have now got to the point. I mean, it wasn't 3 that died; it was actually 4. The other little girl died in hospital.
That's right.
Okay. Right. I heard there's one that died in the hospital. I thought that
Yeah.
4 little girls, 4 little innocent little children.
Yeah.
This guy came from Rwanda, grew up in Cardiff, family moved to Southport. For whatever reason, he's obviously got
Mental.
problems.
Right.
That has done this, and it's basically it's basically to me the straw that broke the camel's back.
Right.
Not the week before, there's a British Army officer was stabbed outside his house in Gillingham.
Okay. By another so-called immigrant, though, right? Like maybe someone from. Okay. Okay.
And I think the British people have just said now, enough is enough.
Yeah.
Fed up with it. It's not the first time. There's been other occasions, where this happened. Unfortunately, it's got to the point now where a lot of these political groups, I say it that way, have said, no, we've had enough of this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. But I mean, and of course, the other side of the coin is that it's one individual. Yeah, this person was of Rwandan descent, but you can't, blanket all of the Rwandan community at fault.
No, of course not.
But people don't see it that way, right? People, those are the people rioting. Is they want, sorry for my harsh words, they want the immigrants out.
I think
that's the idea.
The
Some are
British
seeking asylum, right? Some are fleeing war-torn countries.
all our governments for the past 10 years have said they're going to stop this, they're going to stop this, they're going to stop this. We came out of the European market. We were going to close the borders, And basically, the governments, all of them have lied. None of them have actually stopped this. And it's got to the point now where the British public have said, we're suffering. We are, we've got people in like in America, right? We've got ex-servicemen, men and women that are living on the streets. They're homeless, no job, right? And yet we have these immigrants that come in, right? Illegal immigrants, and most of them are young men. There is the occasional women and children. Most of them, 80% are young men, right? They've come over, they get put into a hotel, paid for by the taxpayer, right? And they get mobile phones, they get money.
They do that in America too. Yeah, we've given credit cards to people and so forth. And I still think there's
people get about enough.
In my little humble opinion, I still think there's a little bit of conspiracy behind that. Like you try to figure out how would they get, say 20,000 people that much access that quickly. But I mean, maybe there's thousands of people behind the scenes, and the immigrant problem is an issue in America too. It's really bad in New York. I mean, there's immigrant gangs like you guys have. Like Hendon's saying, it sounds like the whole world's going to shit, But I just think that it's like, I would think, Jez, most of them, especially the women and children, are seeking asylum from death,
oppression. I'll get that.
I get that.
A lot of these people now, I've been over to France and seen these camps where there's all these people living there. They try to get into the back of lorries and trying to get across the border and everything and all that. And the thing is, I get it that some of them have come from oppressed situations. I get that. And it must be horrible. It must be terrifying. But the British people, I think, are fed up of being lied to by our governments that have said we're going to stop this, we're going to pay France to stop it and not let them across. And yet you see footage of the French police stood on beaches And you see these people launching these dirigibles, right, to get across the channel to come to England.
Mm.
Well, you're being paid to stop it. Why isn't the French Navy stopping them? I get it. France don't want these people. It's a nightmare for them. Places like Calais and Boulogne were lovely. I can remember as a kid going over there. Beautiful towns, great place. Now there are no-go zones. But the British people, I think, got to a point and said, "We fucked off with this. Keep telling us you're going to stop it and stop it and stop it, but you don't do anything about it. You're just lying to us."
Right.
And with this one that happened in Southport, those four little girls are in a Taylor Swift dance class club,
Right.
and this guy goes in, stabs 8, 9 people and adults. 4 of these little innocent little girls die. The
Yeah.
British people are saying, "Fuck this, we've had enough."
Yeah, for sure.
And you can't blame these people. Their community in Southport is devastated by what happened.
Right.
Now, I don't agree with the violence. I'm not condoning it whatsoever. I think, there's got to be a better way. But if this continues, guys, if this keeps going, I will not be at all surprised you'll see the police on the street. The army on the streets.
Mm.
It's going that bad. It's going deep south. This is.
Mm.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. Well, let's try and get back onto the football because obviously, at the moment, that's
One.
it's definitely one that's not going to go away. Unfortunately, I
Right.
think we're going to see more of it, as Jez said. But we've got let's hope we
No
can look on
common
the positive.
solutions. No easy solutions to very, very tough problems.
Not at all. Not at all. Just got to start some of the comments because obviously the chat was flying as we go along there. Is this an Arsenal ambush, Tony? James, you got to feel sorry for him, haven't you? You got to feel sorry for him at this time of the year. It's the gift that keeps on giving, unfortunately.
It is.
They're waiting for players, and that whereas we're kind of relishing in waiting for announcements. There's the difference, and Fuzzy's kind of halfway there with us in the same kind of mould. But unfortunately, the Arsenal guys, they're living on wish at the moment and hoping it'll turn into a prayer. But we'll soon see. Basically, from that.
And we got to look at pictures like that behind you.
Yes, just to remind you. Fuzzy, got a couple of questions from you from Ravi, and the first one he's asking you is, what can Mount offer United in his playing position?
I don't know, because it's against Liverpool that he seemingly we subbed players on to play in Mount's position and push Mount to playing wing. I don't know. I literally don't know. It's like Arteta figuring out what to do with Kai Havertz. I feel bad for Chelsea that they had both Mount and Kai Havertz in the same team at one point. Makes you wonder. When managers don't know what to do with one player, imagine a manager having to deal with 2 of them.
Wow.
I honestly do not know what Mount's role is going to be in the team, because Bruno plays where Mount's best position supposedly allegedly is. You can't play him out wide because there's more natural wingers at the club. Can't play him deeper in midfield because he's not got defensive attributes to cover or play alongside a defensive midfielder and be effective. Can't play a false 9 because whoever plays that position, it's most likely going to be Bruno or, as Ten Hag's alluded to, Sancho. They're planning on using those 2 as striking options to cover for injury concerns up in that department. So where else? I mean, Mourinho's not the manager, so I can't say left back or centre back or goalkeeper, second goalkeeper.
He does ask you another question, Fanath, on the left back. He says, do you see Shaw staying and getting a testimonial when he does retire?
I think he's probably going to stay for at least another 2-3 years. Definitely another 2-3 years before the club might see fit moving him on. Because if the game, if the direction that teams keep going, trying to do like inverted fullbacks, this and that. I mean, Luke Shaw's not necessarily an inverted fullback. He's more like a bit more straightforward, like how Kieran Tierney as a fullback plays. You know, he's more renowned to playing the overlap. You know, playing further forward, supporting his winger, but go around the outside and whip the cross in. You know, he's really good with his crossing. But you know, with the modern game, fullbacks with crossing ability, well, that was a trend for about five years before they've all decided, well, the crosses are going to be playing right in the middle.
Yeah.
So where are their positions going to be? I think Shaw's going to start losing a couple yards of pace. So it becomes a case, if he's going to play in that position, he's going to need to have, you know, a good head on his shoulders. You know, you can't make up the pace. You have to use the intelligence side of your game. And if one thing I noticed with Luke is usually if there is a switch of a play, he's quite narrow. You know, he doesn't occupy or position himself in the right place to deal with the switch of the play or the diagonal pass or a winger that plays in his blind spot. He's not that good at dealing with that sort of a threat. So maybe they decide perhaps the best course of action in the latter stages of his career is to moving him over into centre back, where he can do a relatively good job. But that's probably where his career will end up going. I reckon he'll end up becoming a left-sided centre back and see out whether it's at Man United or not. That's probably where he's going to play the rest of his days after he's done at the top level.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting. I mean, this is something I was just sort of, where did I put it now? I just saw something from James Lamper and that he was talking about Edu. Because Ravi said, first of all, question for the Arsenal gang. Thoughts on Forest wanting Edu? Is that a good move for both parties? There's your answer straight away, basically.
Sign him now. Sign him up now. What is
Sign him up.
for us?
Sign him up just to see the look on Yeti's face.
Because the funny, but yeah, as he says here, you know,
Make my year. Take him.
they think he's the bee's knees. Apparently, Edu, he's the bee's knees. But as you know, as he says, it's my turn now.
Brought in Fabio Vieira.
No problem. I'll drive up and I'll take him up to the City ground and say, there you go, mate. Goodbye.
Yeah, over the moons. Yeah, just going to go on some of the comments first of all and come back to some of the things there. The only thing that Edu is good at is putting sun cream on his bottom, but that's about it.
Flipping meat on a barbecue and doing something to people's feet.
Wow.
The less said about it, the better.
Ed, who's sniffing my club and toes more than signings. Yeah, that's true, as he says there. They've just got their private jet Pepsi and fly off to the sunset. Luke saying Arteta will be staying. We are searching for the right profile of player. What does that even mean?
True.
Pepsi saying 100-metre finals about to start for the men's. Well, next summer we will buy a striker.
And the summer after
Next
that. Summer after that. Summer after that.
Yeah, usual.
We know.
Big up to the legend, which is Carl Walsh-Gunner. Good to see you, Carl. And I hope you're recovering well, mate, after your operation. I see you in the comment there. Ray Parlour was on TalkSport saying Declan Rice would replace Gilberto in the title-winning team. I'm sick of these ex-players talking crap. And, yeah. It doesn't help, does it, when they're doing that?
Don't forget, guys, don't forget. There's a certain YouTuber, right? Canadian YouTuber, stated the other day on his channel, we don't need a striker.
Yeah, this is true. If Calafiori and Mourinho hit the ground running and have decent chemistry, it will be the difference between first and second. Plus the fact you've got Timber back as well now, which I think, I'll look forward to see him playing because I think that was a tragedy, him getting injured so early in the season. So it'd be good to see him actually coming back, I must admit. Yeah,
First game.
Yeah, first game, wasn't it? Yeah, first game. That's true. Yeah. I'm recovering well from surgery. I'll be back really soon. Thank you. Yeah. Speedy recovery there. James has put on there, this would have to be the worst pre-season. Regular players still breaks, and the season starts in 2 weeks. Euros, Copa America, Olympics, it's all over the place. Yeah, it's true, isn't it?
Yep.
Not everyone's going to be ready for it. Apart from obviously 4K4P, who says looks like we're in another Premier League 5 in a row.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Looks that way, doesn't it?
Can't
But
disagree.
Arsenal Manic saying, what's happened to Patino, this Brazilian maverick teenager coming through? Now he's 21 years of age. What happened to Marquinhos from Sao Paulo? He played well every time he put on.
Yeah. Never saw him.
He disappeared in the Norwich.
He's gone now. Marquinhos is gone.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Ravi's asking, question for early doors, thoughts on your academy. Is there anyone that will make it to the first team? Well, you know, when you look at Orford, he's just signed a 5-year contract. This is the kid that was going to be offered as part of the deal for John Duran. Luckily enough, that didn't come off because he's one of our future up-and-coming talents. You've seen Urfi, he's come through as well. So, yeah, we've got a couple of players in the pipeline that's doing well, and hopefully Lopetegui will see more of that compared to what Moyes did. Moyes, after his little rant at West Ham the other day with his little Q&A he was given, sour grapes comes to mind in certain respects. But yeah, hopefully with the academy, Lopetegui will give these players a bit more of a chance. So let's hope we go from there.
Tony, you think you'll play? Tony, I got a question for West Ham for you. Do you guys think you'll play a 4-2-3-1? And if so, who's the 3 midfielders behind the striker?
It's an interesting one because obviously, I say, if we get this Rodriguez deal over the line as well, Dow, it kind of offers a, you know, in certain respects, he's a bit like, you know, he offers the Declan Rice element that we're missing in the team. You know, he's got bags of experience. I mean, obviously, he won the World Cup and obviously won the Copa America with Argentina. So, you know, when you look at that, he brings that to the club. It then gives us the outlet. Then does that mean that Alvarez and possibly it's either going to be Ward-Prowse or even Paqueta? Because I say, if now we've got Somerville over the line as well, you've got Somerville, you've got obviously possibly Bowen, or you've got Kudos being there, or Kudos playing just in front of them. And if this Fulkrug one comes as well, I mean, I don't know, he may even go with possibly, you never know, he might be traditional and go 4-4-2. I mean, you know, I think the options for a change with West Ham are there. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to this new look under Lopetegui. I mean, you know, as I said, I'm still jury out with him because obviously just with his past experience, but with what's been going on recently, 1 minute, you know, because I will talk about the director of football situation between the respective clubs. The difference being, first of all, with Steadtime, we was a bit unsure what he was doing. It seemed like we were gone for a few deals, like, you know, the what's his name, Jean-Claude Todibo, but, you know, Todibo. 1 minute, yeah, it's a done deal. Next minute, no, I want to go Juve. So everyone's kind of questioning a couple of the deals that he was doing. He was going a bit Pete Tong, as we say. But then suddenly, out of nowhere, we've got the say Somerville, we've got Fulkrug in the pipeline. This Rodriguez one, you know, when you think Barcelona wanted this fella, and we've managed to apparently snatch him underneath their nose. And of course, you know, there's still one Pasaka that's in the pipeline. So it's when you look at, and this is the question I throw back at you three, and even I suppose Fuzzy as well, and to the Arsenal guys in the chat. When you look at Edu and your lack of activity compared to the last 2 seasons since we brought Steadtine in, who's done the better business?
Hammers. Hammers. I mean, I would take Kudos like in an instant. I would get rid of 3 players for Kudos. I mean, Fabio Vieira or Kudos. Your choice, Anthony and Jez. Right? That's the thing. At least, well, Lopetegui's from Coach Messi at Barcelona, correct?
Yeah. So when you look at it,
Certainly not Vieira, mate. Certainly not Vieira.
No, I agree.
I mean,
Sorry,
you know,
I just don't send a cat you off at your ground. You offered me some petrol money. I said, no, look, fuck it, I don't want it. You just walk through into that West Ham, and you capture them.
You could go for free for a change. You could actually
You
go
go
for
for
free.
free for a change. I did say to him, there's only one Arsenal fan I know that'd be disappointed if you go in. His name's Jez Collins, but we're talking range.
Yes, that's the trick in the back end. That's what I'm showing you us. No, but you look at Fulkrug, right? Isn't he the bloke from Xabi Alonso's Bayern Leverkusen side? Isn't he the striker?
Borussia Dortmund. He's only been with them.
Dortmund. So there you go.
Yeah, he's only been
Yeah.
there one season. Even Dortmund are quite stunned by this deal. But I did see the other day. Apparently, the German manager, Germany manager, he turned and said, if you want to feature in the 26th World Cup, you need to move. So
Wow.
he's endorsed it in certain respects. So that's high
he's
praise
good.
indeed in that
Yeah.
respect.
Already you got a better player than Eddie right there. Oh God.
Yeah. I mean, Arsenal, when it's any news about other clubs who've made moves, yeah, there's plenty. I mean, the one that, Nottingham Forest signed that Jota, they call him the Portuguese Grealish. So they've got a good player on their hands there. We looked at him, but for some reason we never went for him. But
Who is this?
Jota Silva, is his name is?
Oh, okay.
They call him the Portuguese Grealish.
Mm.
But he's a winger, so it looks pretty decent.
He wears his socks around his ankles.
Yeah, that's the one. Or up to his waist.
The Backstreet Boys haircut.
About
But yeah, I mean,
50 gallons of hairspray used.
And lots
I
of
mean,
vodka.
Newcastle are supposed to be going in for, I think, who's it now? One of the defenders. And Gamirez, has he alluded to he wants to go to City?
No, I think his latest statement was proclaiming his love for what Newcastle has done for him since his arrival.
Right.
So I think he's sort of, I'm happy to continue another season at Newcastle.
Is it because they haven't come for him, basically? Is what you're saying?
Probably. Or it's, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's just sat there. He's a little bit bitter. All of his career modes and his football games, he's a City player, but he's going to have to swallow the bitter pill that real life football works out a little bit differently.
True.
So yeah.
Creepy Classic saying, "Don't worry about Wolves at home, guys. I've watched Palace spank Wolves pre-season in America. They're crap." Well, Gary O'Neill's just signed a new contract with him, so that's good for him. He's he's done well with them.
Pre-season is a totally different thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree on that, Jez. Transfer deadline day will be extremely busy. Totally agree on that one.
And we'll bring a quicker.
Well, as Anthony said, he said on Wednesday, he said, you can just see it now. We're going to do all these deals come the end of the season, the last minute.
Do you reckon it'll be a £1 billion day for the Premier League?
Oh, guaranteed. Yeah.
Well, don't forget, Arsenal bought Arteta on deadline day in August.
Mm.
And it all went horribly.
So what are we going to do with Ramsdale, Jez? Why doesn't he just stick to his guns and keep his pride in his pocket and be the number 2?
It's an interesting one, isn't it? Nobody's come in for him, and that's very interesting. Because I would have thought there'd have been a few clubs that would be saying, "Well, we'll take him," but nobody seems really that interested.
Yeah,
It's a bit sad for him, to be fair. He's a good goalkeeper.
I think Southampton was sniffing around him for a loan or something, right?
I don't think Arsenal. I think Arsenal want to sell.
Michael, sorry, Jay, Michael Chelsea FC. I think it's the other way around. Palace lost to us. We beat them 4-1 in the friendly recently. Even though we did play crap. Big up, Stephanie. Smashing windows, threatening shopkeepers, stealing beer and cigs, not protesting his fuggery. Yeah, agree on that. They're just going up on there. Stands. Big up to Hendon Guna. Good evening, Tony, Fuzzy, Jez, Dow, Anthony, all in the chat and watching. Good to hear you.
Big up, Sandon.
Just saying about all the comments you mentioned earlier. You mean West Ham's? I don't know much about it, so interested to know who the future stars are. Yeah, I already mentioned those
Ben
players.
Johnson. Oh, wait.
Ben Johnson for Steve, yeah. Complete chaos, yeah. Fuggery was using the 9th century. It's still great. It used to be. Anthony Goodman and Jez, they're asylum seekers. Okay, 18 likes. It's a sick world right now. Just has to be done by design. They're honestly fighting against themselves. Yeah, we know that. Great show, guys. Thanks, Ravi. Yeah, very instant, really, like we said. He's getting around, your brother, Anthony. He's on holiday now in Plymouth. EDL are out here, proper nasty fight going on.
He sent me a video earlier. They were driving past the Plymouth Argyle Stadium, and I got to be honest with you, the bit that I saw, it was a shittle. Yeah, that was it.
Just like it normally is.
Yeah.
Johnny from your channel.
Donna wants to fuzz.
Well done, Fuzzy. Well done, mate.
Donna, hot dog.
Fun first.
Fuzz is like, Donna's calling, guys. I gotta get off the.
She's figured out how to find my channel.
Back
Back off.
When I got there.
You're giving her bad vibes, Fuzz. She's backing off from you.
Yeah.
Last one you say won the men's 100 meters. Nice. Yeah.
Didn't realise what we could run that fast.
Just slowly trying to catch up on the chat here. Yeah, don't want to go on that one. Too many others. Yeah. So, apart from the two players, you're trying. Is there any other players that Arsenal are trying to bring at this stage?
Don't know.
Wow.
I've still been seeing Alvarez. Still been seeing that one. I've even seen Osherman as well this week. Like, really. And the two Spanish midfielders. I think that's about it for them from Arsenal. So hasn't really been a lot going on. But it's like what I said, until I actually see them signing the contract, wearing the shirt, I didn't believe any of it.
I just feel like if
Nice,
we do sign a striker, it's just going to put Kai Havertz at left mid. You know, and Osimhen would be the one I want. I know a lot of people aren't gassed about him, but for me, he's kind of the one just because of his mobility and his ability to score inside the box, score outside the box, create. I just think that he's a little more fit for what we need. I don't. Maybe you guys may think Gyökeres is. I don't know, but either way, it puts Kai Havertz, in my opinion, at left mid if we sign a striker. So, I mean, I don't think Mikel Arteta would have any problem putting Havertz at left mid and then bringing Marino on for Havertz. You know, Marino could be just backfill. Maybe he's already planning to put Havertz there because Jesus is fit again. Right? So, I don't know, man. I just think we're kind of fucked either way, to be honest. Because we're not buying that real impact player. We're not buying that player that the whole fan base can kind of say, okay, he's the one. He's the one that's going to get us a title, or he's the one that's going to get us a Champions League semifinal or final. And we haven't identified that player. You know, I don't think Kai Havertz is it. He's good. He's very good at that he showed in 2024, but he could have a shit start to the season, like Jez said. We could be fifth by December if Kai Havertz isn't firing. You know? So I just think there's a lot of work to do. And the Kai Havertz signing really put a kink in the works a bit, because now he's forced to do something that, you know, that's not always going to be the right decision.
No, true. Afternoon, Lawrence from Lexington. Hope you're keeping well, Lawrence. Good to see you, Larry.
Kentucky.
Star Trek Shenanigans. Yeah. Ending now too much, mate. Yeah, Cash. Can't get the time off. Watching it all on the telly. Big up to Yeti. I watched it all in Bristol when I'm singing "We Want Our Country Back." Then I spotted Anthony at the back singing "I Want My Tractor Back."
Yeah, no, it was torched. It's true. I was thinking the back. I want it. Somebody torched it. They took it away and torched it. They beat Des to it. Torched my tractor.
My tractor.
My tractor.
Thing is, the Alvarez thing. I'm sure Guardiola turned and said he's still our player, kind of thing. So make of that one.
Well, apparently they're interested in another striker. Who's the same? I think he's either the same age or he's a
There you
year
go, mate. I hope you
younger.
cover him well.
And 35 million they've been told, but apparently he's better than what Alvarez is or was back then. So whether there's any truth in that, but there's talks this season that Arteta could be because where did I see it too? It was on YouTube. I think it may have been something on Sky Sports News or something like that. That Arteta might be changing our formation to a 4-1-2-3. So he's saying it's Havertz up front with Martinelli and Saka. The two in the midfield would be Rice and Odegaard, and the other one, the one playing in front of the back four, would be one of our new signees. Is it Marino or something like that? The Spanish midfielder.
Marino.
And then obviously Cauliflower at left back. So that and that's it. That's the only that's what they reckon our team would be for this season until
Fucking
January.
That's fucking dumb.
Yeah. So
4-1,
2 signings, that's what they're saying.
4-1-2-3. Well, that's not going to be real hard for Liverpool and United to penetrate, is it, Anthony?
No, it's true.
It's wet as piss. There goes the steal in the midfield.
I was going to say, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you mentioned the Osham one as well. Apparently, Chelsea are sniffing around on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there was that like a swap deal or something like that with Lukaku plus cash.
Yeah, apparently so. Yeah, I don't know who got the better deal out of that one. If they was going to go for it. Dear me.
Well, mention Jez Pete. I think he's in the chat.
Just seen it.
Yeah, Pete's there. Good old Pete.
Take your meds. Take your meds.
So just going around in it.
LinkedIn.
Send him the link. Yeah. Fuzzy, because you see the article with the interview with Ten Hag. I mean, and I heard something on the radio earlier on. It seems after the defeat against Liverpool, it's all doom and gloom again. And it's a case of that question has been put out there again. Is Ten Hag days numbered? What would you say on that?
Well, it does sort of shed light in terms of the result. Of course, losing a game is going to put not minds into a negative state, but it does show that in terms of the transfers at this current time, for what kind of work the club has needed, essentially Manchester United at the moment, we needed quite an extensive overhaul this summer to really sort of look like we are in a position to progress and, for things to get better. What that Liverpool game showed us was a load of players that played that game were players that should be playing for other clubs right now. And they're not going to. They're going to be here next season. Casemiro, Eriksen, Wan-Bissaka played 90 minutes when he's supposed to be out the door in a couple of days. Imagine if he got injured, because that's going on at the club at the moment. The fitness department's in chaos. And various other players as well that, are are playing football when they should be going. Jadon Sancho is looking like he's going to be staying and being used as a striker option. Why are we doing that? Why is it that yet again we're going into a season ill prepared? We've signed 2 players and essentially sold 2-3 first teamers. Everybody else left on their contracts expiring. Everybody else, there's still another 5-6 players that play week in, week out that should be gone. So the squad is not anywhere near. It's not like one signing away. It's complete opposite ends of the rod. Like we are miles, like a year, like another January transfer window away if we go into this season with that team. And the fact is I mean, it's 2024-25 season kicking off, right? Let's say hypothetically, we're still hardballing or trying to figure stuff out with Bayern for De Ligt and Mazraoui, and Martinez gets a training injury. The starting centre-back partnership in the beginning of the 2024-25 season for Man United would be Maguire and Lindelof or John Evans. How bad is that? And
I love Maguire,
Ten Hag is expected to keep his job with that. No chance. No chance. I know I've given my predictions to where Man United would finish, and I said that judging that United do, I'd say at the very least 80% of all possible business that they could have planned for this summer going to next season, we'd probably finish, a solid season, get us into the top 4 spots. If we're starting first game of the season with a centre-back partnership that still has Maguire and or Lindelof playing in it, with Casemiro at DM and Eriksen sat on the bench and, a couple of other bums on the team, we're not getting top 4, that's for sure. Probably struggle to get Europa League. Conference League would be a tough task because it's not like, sure, we'd be lacking behind Liverpool, Arsenal, City, and whoever else competes for the 4th spot. There's Aston Villa, Newcastle. I mean, Crystal Palace would be playing better football week in, week out, so they could accumulate better points, a better points haul than us. Brighton, if they, live up to any expectation that they've had with the, zesty football that they play over the past 3-4 years, there's teams around us, even when we are below the other big 6. There's other teams there that will say, well, you're not getting sympathy from us. We'll finish above you anyways. So then we get pushed right the way down below them. That's the thing with this Premier League season, is in the way that it's shaping up, everybody's got to be on it. And how many teams, especially the big 6 teams, are ill prepared for the challenge? They've still got so much outstanding business, and we're within 2 weeks of the season starting. How many clubs get all the business they need to do within the span of 2 weeks? They can barely do business across a January transfer window. That's a month. So not just Man United, other clubs in trouble as well, but Man United, with, what kind of issues they've got, the results are damning. They will be damning, if not for us actually pulling the finger out. And I think some of these deals, for instance, like the De Ligt and Mazraoui deals, we'll probably have to really pull the finger out and just pay up. Just pay up, not just like try and lowball, but maybe a couple of million less than their package deal and just get the deals done, because that's the bigger picture at the moment. The players want to come. They want to get here. They want to start playing for United. Agate, De Ligt, Mazraoui, 3 players. They say, yeah, we want to play for you. We're happy with what terms you propose to us. Get us in there. But we're trying to negotiate, and yeah, well, I can respect that. I can, because you're trying to undo the reputation by using your professionalisms. But how far is that going to take you in a market where nobody really fancies doing smart business? They just want fat paychecks. Everyone wants a fat paycheck. So you got to turn the tide, and that tide's pulling you out into the ocean. But that's for Ten Hag and how he keeps his job. I'd still think even on a bad day, he'd probably survive longer than Enzo at Chelsea, but it's not looking good. And I'll tell you what, I think if he is to be sacked this season, his replacement's already at the club. Why else would the hierarchy employ first-team managers or managers who were offered first-team jobs, take them on as assistants and coaching staff? Because you can recruit from within, saves you money if you need to do it.
This is true. Just going to go back to the chat. Tony, you're happy with the incomings at the Hammers thoughts? Yeah, I'm pretty happy with what we've got so far. I mean, obviously, Gilherme, 18. I don't know where he's going to fit in with the plan at this stage. I don't know if his case of he'll play bit parts, but he may start him off. I mean, the kid's competent enough. But yeah, with all the other players, yeah, I'm very happy with the business at the moment. I can't complain. And if we get the other ones over the line, then we've done some decent business for the summertime. Dixon Cider. Question to Tony and Jez. What shampoo brand do you use?
I don't recommend it. It's not good for your hair.
There's a few answers for us though, Jez. We've got Wash and Go. That's obvious. Dale's coming with Chrome. Aaron's coming with Shine for Men. Pepsi Pack's coming with Mr. Mine's Wash and Gone. Unfortunately, my one.
That's what I was about to say. Wash and
Mr. Sheen Polish. Who else is there? And so there's a few alternatives we've been given in there for answers and stuff.
No, it's actually having a wife and 3 kids, mate.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly, Jez. I think I feel your pain.
Yeah, you'll be there soon, Dal.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I must ask. Is Tony the father? Is Tony the father to Mr. Clean?
It's the Arsenal branded one. It's the Arsenal branded one because Arsenal stress you out so much using their shampoo. That's it. It's
just enough to lose it.
I believe there's really an Arsenal shampoo.
Good question from Ravi though. He says, question for thoughts on how your club score goals in general. I mean, I'll answer for West Ham first of all, and that it'll be interesting to see where it goes. I mean, apart from obviously maybe Kudos and Bowen, hopefully with the new signings coming in, we'll see a few more players getting something. But yeah, very hit and miss. And I don't know if Souček features this season or does Lopetegui see him as a bit part player. It'd be interesting. But where our goals come from and that, I think that even last season were by hook or crook.
I've just seen your comment, Dal.
I think with Man United, in terms of how we're going to score goals is usually from the case of kicking the ball in the back of the net. That's a really good way of scoring goals.
Yeah,
well,
hopefully.
That's all I want.
For us, we're going to have to, I guess, put some balls, cross the balls in the box. Seeing that he's 6'4", can actually head the ball decently at times. I mean, we've seen him miss some sitters though too. So I don't know.
Connor.
We're gonna have Jesus running around, making faces and falling around and complaining at the ref and all that kind of shit. Now, if we don't want that, we'll have Kai Havertz up front, who at least will get an elbow and to block it on the center back. So I don't know how we're going to score goals. That's a great question. I don't know where the goals are going to come from because they sure weren't coming from Martinelli last season. They weren't coming from Odegaard last season. Saka, I think, was our top scorer, right, Jez? Yeah, I'm worried that if Havertz just isn't firing on all cylinders from the get-go, that's my biggest worry, to be honest, with him in the 9, is that he just starts out slow, lethargic, missing shots, missing sitters, and then it all finally starts to kick in, right, in December, January. Well, we may be 5th place by then, so that's my biggest worry, is that Havertz is just not ready yet. And from looking at him in preseason, there's no guarantee that he is, even though he knocked a couple in, but he wasn't overly that impressive, I didn't think.
Yeah. Spurs, West Ham, Palace, and Chelsea. I'm assuming that's Liverpool what they've got coming up.
Wow. That's not an easy run at all.
I mean, this is an interesting one. Have you seen this Conor Gallagher one? So apparently a deal's been struck with Atletico Madrid, but now it's a case of we'll talk. We negotiate a contract with you now. I mean, that seems weird.
I think it's Conor Gallagher is undecided. He hasn't figured himself out what he wants to do. So everyone's waiting on him.
I don't see what the hype is with this player at all.
Thank you, Doug. You just hit the nail on the head there. I mean, the Euros was just enough.
Who is this guy?
I mean,
Yeah.
we used to slate him when he come on the sub bench. You go, oh, why are you bringing on Conor Gallagher? There's better talent there. That was actually sitting on the bench in the Euros. You know what I mean? So I don't know what the I don't know what the high rate is about this guy Conor Gallagher as well.
I don't see it. Madison's
No.
better. James Madison's better than him, right? I mean, there's other names.
Low Star saying the posh lad reminds me of Harry Enfield.
Fuzzy.
My IQ has increased listening to Fuzzy. See, it all makes sense. He does before me. Goes, yeah, you've just depressed me, Hot Fuzz. You've struck a
So I
chord.
have worked miracles.
Cold
saying-
Fuzz.
Yeah.
Cold Fuzz.
What do you guys make of Sarr, the ex-Watford player we have just signed from Marseille?
Glasnow will do some good work with them.
Yeah, the Palace. Yeah, they just signed Sarr, haven't they?
See that winger?
He was
Yes.
a tricky.
Arsenal were
tricky
linked to
player.
him years ago, I thought, like when he was like 18, 19 years old.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, we were.
We were linked to him.
Yeah. Yeah, as Connor said, yeah, look, good signing, Creepy Classics. I remember when Arsenal wanted him before he went to Marseille, as you said, Dale.
Name sounded familiar for sure. Just
By boat, wow. Cole Gunner, I've already written off the coming season, and to be honest, I'll probably tune out for most of it. Better things to do with my time. Oh, Chelsea's a
Come on.
merry-go-round. Yeah, definitely.
Come on, Hendon, we need you, bro.
If United win the Prem, will Fuzzy shave his hair off for a good cause?
I mean, if people donate to like a charity or something, then sure, why not?
Good shout. You've heard it here first.
I'm just gonna watch it. Clubs literally just scoring so many own goals against United, get the most ridiculous amount of penalties, just trying to get to win the Premier. We've got to make Fuzzy Bob. Yeah, Rasmus Højlund dropping about like 60 goals in the league campaign. Wow.
I swear that Creepy Classics. I think if I remember correctly, I swear he come on. I think he came on Yeti's channel. Not
He did.
a while back. Yeah.
He did. Yeah. Thanks, Anthony. I use engine oil. Look at that shine. Yeah. 10W40 works wonders. Don't use 5W30, and that is not as good. It's just that it stays there. Oh, grease lining.
No, it's good that 10W40. It's good stuff, man.
See, Jessica, bigs it up as well.
That's slick. gives you that slick sort of, you know.
It's slick skill look.
Has David Moyes found another club? No, not yet. Not yet. I don't think he did himself any favours after that comment he made when he did the interview. That's for sure. So Henry's asking, is anyone doing a final day deadline show?
I'm not sure.
Nah, I'll be asleep by that time.
Goes on too long. It's all like hard work.
I don't own any yellow ties either.
Do a show the day after, then you have a lot of stuff to talk about and review.
I thought we was team.
I did actually last I did actually do. Yes, I did. I did 3 in about 4 hours. I did. I did a little show, and then I did the fight right at the end. And I did one with the lack of business that Arsenal did. I did do that actually, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, well, you'll probably see the three of us, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and that we will do a transfer deadline show on the end of August. So have a little, only going to be doing it for a couple of hours, so gives enough time for us to tuck Fuzzy into bed before he gets up work in the morning, which should be good for that. And what was it? Try Alpecin caffeine shampoo. Nah. I'm happy with the look I've got.
What does that do? Does that actually grow your hair back or something?
Apparently so, yeah. Apparently so.
Mine's growing back, actually. It's actually growing back.
Mine is as well, Jez.
It's the hope.
Yeah, it's hope. Yeah, it's hope.
Stronger the hope. So
No,
if Arsenal,
oh yeah, look, you can see. Look
that. Go, blimey.
Tonic.
Yeah. And if you look at this one, Jezzy Twins about to come on. You look at his hair as well. Look, see, look.
Oh, the wheels.
Is that the Wealdstone Warrior you got on there?
Yeah. Fucking what, Sam?
I give a job big time. Big club.
All 4'6". He's only about 4'6", that guy.
Pepsi's right. Last time Jez had hair, Arsenal won the league. Jez, did you have hair?
I'm a bit taller
he's
than
growing
that.
hair back though, so that means that it's a sign, isn't it?
It's a sign.
Yeah.
But look, right, you're only jealous. You're only bloody jealous of me and Tony. Yeah? We're slick. We're slick. You know what I'm saying?
I've actually seen the women. I've told you, Jez, before. I've actually seen the women calling you a gilf. Remember on saying his on his thumbnail? So,
What do you say, man? What do you say? You know,
Grandpa.
it is what it is. You know,
This is not property. Simple as that. Yeah. You know what? Who cares if you're bald? We are men. We age. We do indeed. That's for sure. Just there went with all the Arteta crap. That's true. So as we're getting near to the end of that, Fuzzy, I'll start off with you first of all. Nat, tell us what you've got coming up. If you'd like to shout your channel out as well, please. Been an interesting show today. They're very diverse.
it has been.
Yeah, you'll see me uploading a couple of videos or something talking about bits and pieces, maybe a sort of review of the pre-season tour as we're sort of delving towards the beginning of the season, which of course a glorified dinner plate game coming up next weekend. So it'll be interesting to see how the team or how the club is looking by the time we get to the other end of this week. And then there's then of course Wednesday, another episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. It's season 2, and soon, very soon, we'll be bringing back them pre-match predictions, and perhaps keeping a tally of points this season as well, a tracker of how many points we get. And not just that, but also there's the Tony's Fantasy Premier League thing going on as well. So we'll keep up to dates with that as we go along. You can find all of that over at Hotfuzz 44 OG, as you see down there. That's the link for it there. But yeah, find me over on the Hotfuzz 44 OG. Just as long as my house doesn't this country's going at the moment, but I should hopefully I'll survive. I'll survive.
Whatever it was, wasn't it?
Big ups to everybody, and yeah.
No, thanks very much for that, Fuzzy. Great show, guys. As always, keep up the hard work. Some of these writers know a bit about 24 likes. Thanks so much, Pepsi. And yeah, that. Would you ever consider a comb over? Jesus.
Well, it might be an option. It might be an option.
You want it? Take it.
I could do a Bobby Charlton. You know what I'm saying?
Fuzzy, if you look at my one, if you look at my comb, it's just got two ends and nothing in between. That's it. That's all it's got.
Yeah, I know.
He'll be like Trump.
Your comb looks a little bit something like this.
That's the one. That's the one.
Cool.
What's the prize? Anthony will let you know what the prize is.
Tractor oil.
There are prizes. Oh, yeah, sorry, there is a prize, yeah. There is a prize, yeah. I think you said so, wasn't it? Your paying is £1,000 for the winner. Is that right?
That's apparently so, according to you anyway, yes.
No, it's just for fun. It's just for fun. I suppose I don't know if whoever wins it. I suppose they might have an option to come on the show, whether it's somebody in the comments or somebody that's watching. You can give them that opportunity. So, but yeah.
True. It is fucking there first. Pepsi said he's got Everton in his team. He's bound to win now. He's bound to win. Yeah, subscription of Wash and Go. Yeah.
I suppose if I was to grow my hair, because my hair at the back grows long, right? So I suppose if I grew it for a year, right?
Friar Jez.
I could probably do. I could probably do it. I might actually turn up on here one day with a wig on
Yeah.
and a syrup. And
Brilliant.
that'd stop a few people, wouldn't it?
Just take a quick holiday to Turkey. We'll understand.
Jez Hogan.
With the 24-inch pythons.
I am a real Arsenal fan.
You got it, brother.
Yeah.
Artillery, brother.
Jez, you look like Friar Tuck from Wish. Don't worry. Don't try it, Jez. You look like a sound engineer at a rock concert.
Now, I wouldn't mind that.
That's funny.
I wouldn't mind that. 'Cause I'm into my rock music, so I could actually do that.
Yeah, back to the old days.
His Blue Oyster Cult t-shirt.
Brilliant. Dale, if you'd like to shout out your channel and what you've got coming up as well, please, sir.
Yeah, thanks for the invite today. Sorry I got on a little late and wake up and do morning stuff. But yeah, great show today. Definitely diverse. I feel bad that you guys have got this rioting shit going on. I know we talked a little bit about that and diverted from the football, but it's important to talk about. We all have our say in the world. So on with that. Big up seeing everyone in the panel, everyone of course in the chat, and check me out on Oregon Goon on YouTube. And come on, you Gunners!
Super, brilliant. Anthony, what you got? Whereabouts are you hoarding yourself out during the week?
Anybody who wants me, I'm here on YouTube. You can even see me standing out on the street corners. But yeah, you can find me on here on Early Doors Football TV, where we do the good, the bad, the ugly on Wednesday nights. On this show, the Saturday Night Takeaway. Also, when Jez asked me to come on his show,
Saturday night takeaway.
Sunday night takeaway.
You said Saturday, mate.
Oh, did I? Oh, don't know. All right, Sunday night takeaway, and then obviously when the season starts back in that, I think I'll be popping on Jez's when he wants me, sort of thing, on Arsenal history and more. And also make sure you like and subscribe to every single body show on here. They do good shows, good content, you know. And also I want to thank the people that's in the chat and watching the show tonight. And Dal, are you going to win the league with Newcastle? Because I noticed you're playing a lot of FIFA recently.
Yeah. I'm 1 point behind City, but I've got a couple injuries, and I've made some great purchases. You know, I reached out to Mama Flossie. I told her who I was buying. She rubber stamped the signings, so we're on to glory, baby. Yeah. But it's still, you know, I got to get the FC 25 coming out, right? The new FIFA comes out at the end of September.
Yeah.
So I've heard good and bad about it. You know, I'm still on FIFA 23 because it doesn't have all the bullshit that FC 24 had. But I'm afraid FC 25 will be more of the bullshit than FC 24. But we'll see. But yeah, tune to the end. Let's go.
Yeah. And Football Manager 25 is out soon. Reports are saying on breaking news that they might actually employ Jez Collins back for the Arsenal job on that one. So that will be one to look for. So.
Smartest decision they'll ever make. Hiring Jez Collins. Get him out of retirement.
Brilliant.
I had too much mouth for them. They didn't like my attitude. Simple as that.
And on that note, last but not least, Jez, if you'd like to tell us what your channel is and what you've got coming out as well, please, sir.
Yes, mate. Thanks for having me on. Thoroughly enjoyed it, as always, on the Sunday night takeaway. Not Saturday night takeaway. Sunday.
Yeah, Anthony.
Saturday night.
Whole day apart.
Fuzzy, always a pleasure, man. Anthony,
Likewise.
always a pleasure. Tony, brilliant. And Dal, my buddy from across the sea. We've been buddies now for quite a while. And
5 years.
It's Arsenal history and more. I'm going to do something a bit different tomorrow night. I'm going to be doing an Olympics velodrome cycling watch along. I'm absolutely no expert on it. I know absolutely crap all about it. I just love it. I think it's just something. I don't know. It floats my boat.
It's the tight fitting costumes.
Well, hang about.
Right, it's the helmets. The velodrome is the bike racing, correct, Jez? Is there just 2 bike racers, or is there a team of 3 or 4, or is there like 8 participants?
It goes from time trial to it goes from 1 or 2. There's so many different formats. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it's incredible to watch.
I don't understand it all. I'm not going to profess to be an expert. I'm not. I just love it, and I want to do a watch along. There'll be shit views in it, but I don't care. But it's all good fun. But it's Arsenal history and more tomorrow night. Start at 7 o'clock. Do talk about, make myself look a fool because I don't know the tactics. But hey, who cares? Doesn't matter, does it?
No, exactly that. And as always, the great people in the chat, thanks for hanging around with us and putting your comments in there. You know, it's been a pleasure as always having you on board. And me and Jez, we're going to be popping out to the supermarkets to try and find these brands for our hair. We'll look forward to using them and tell you the results next week, basically. But it's been a good evening, a good show, and as always, thank you much for your time again. Thank you very much for your in, and same for yourself as well. I hope everyone has a good week. Jez, try minoxidil, regain, or get a hairpiece glued to the head.
I want the Friar Tuck one.
If I got a hairpiece glued to my head, right, my wife would put an axe through my head. Simples.
Brilliant.
Is that jealousy? You'd have better hair than her.
Well, no, because I actually for a giggle, a few years ago now, just for a giggle, right? I actually did get this hair. It was a laugh. Never going to be permanent. I did. She came home one night and she went, "What the effing hell is that?" And I said, "You don't like my new hair transplant?" And she ripped it off, right? And she took it out of the garden and burnt it.
She didn't like Jess Bon Jovi, huh?
Just Paul Joe.
Jess Bon Jovi.
I did it as a giggle. I did it as a laugh, right? And she got the biggest hump. She said, "You look a complete seeing you next Tuesday." And I'll tell you what, my wife don't swear. But she said, she said, "Are you trying to make yourself look like a complete bigger prick than you already are?"
Man.
And I went, "Oh, so that's nice. Yeah, thanks." He said, "I've got." And she went, "You are just a prick, aren't you?" And I went,
Hilarious.
"There you
So you're looking at that there, Pepsi Pack saying hair tattoo in there. You'll have to be like David Guest, Jez, in there and black out your head to make sure it looks fuller.
Well, I didn't actually think about having an Arsenal.
Do you remember that? Just,
Liza Minnelli's ex-husband.
that's the one.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was so popular in British culture.
He was on Big Brother. That's what it was. And,
Okay.
there's one of the episodes in that you see him to make his hair look fuller. He kind
Yeah.
of he actually blacked all his skin on his
Wow.
head to make his hair look fuller.
Right,
There's
that helps.
Well, he came out. You could just see people was looking at him. And he's like, "What the fuck's he done to his head, Connor?" You know.
He put a black spot on it.
Actually, before we go, I'll tell you a stupid story here. Right, a mate of mine, he went like us, Toad. He went like us, yeah, right.
Yeah.
And he's got money. This guy's got money, and he went out to somewhere, Turkey, I think, or something like that, and had a hair transplant. Right now, he's got brownish, blackish type of hair, right? And he had a hair transplant. Cost him whatever it cost him. I hadn't seen him for about a year, and maybe 18 months. And I bumped into him up in London, and I went, "Is that you?"
Sharpie.
I was like, "Is that you,
Oh, fuck.
Rob Jonesy?" I said, "Is that you?" And he went, "All right, mate." I said, "Yeah." I said, "What the fuck have you done to your head?" He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "You had a hair transplant, have you?" He's a long distance lorry driver. And he went, "Yeah." I said, "Right." And he went, "What do you think of it?" I said, "Well, how come this is brown? That's fucking blonde." He got fucking stitched there big time.
Super.
It was like
Brilliant.
a gingery blonde colour down here, right?
Sharpie.
Looked like a bloody badger. Anyway, ever since then, he dyes it, right? He dyes it, yeah. And I always, whenever I meet up with him, I go, "All right, Badger."
Badger.
Oh, mate.
An hair transplant uses hair from the back of the head, Jez. Bloody hell. I'm going to put a cat on my head. You think? Call you Davy Crockett. That's what it'll be, Davy Crockett.
Yeah.
I'll get one for 4K.
What, like,
Oh, yeah. You mentioned that. Yeah, look, Jez, there's one for us.
Oh,
Look.
we should get Afro wigs.
Wear
That'd be dope.
Afro wigs on the next stream.
That would be hilarious.
So easy to spot. Jesus
I could
Christ.
put a pussy in my head. I've got two of them.
God, one.
That's a little different in America, but okay, Jess, go for it.
Anyway, guys, it's time for us to end off anyway. And this is Ewa said Trump's successor with the two-tone colour. Yeah, that's the one. Jesus. But yeah, thanks again as always. The panel, Jez, Fuzzy, Anthony, Dow. Thanks for being on as always. Been a pleasure. And yeah, guys, we're out. So we'll catch you next time. No outro this time, so I'm going to save your ear rolls for one. And thanks for being on.
For that.
Take
Take care, everyone.